Well, today, of course, marks Africa Day, and this evening we bring you a story of love that transcends borders. And I think a lot of people will have similar experiences to share, especially in South Africa. Mpumi Radebe-Edward met her husband, Edward, in 1996, just 2 years after the first democratic elections, and also at a time when there were fewer non-nationals in South Africa. Well, the couple joins us to discuss their over 2-long-decade love, and I suppose the power of love in bringing the continent together. Mpumi, good evening to the show and welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's also a pleasure to have you with us tonight, Wisdom.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
I suppose a basic place to start would be for you perhaps to tell us very briefly about your love story. How exactly did you meet?
Would you go for it?
Go for it.
We met in 1996. I just finished matric in 1994. So in 1996, I went to Braamfontein. I went to the Witwatersrand University. I was actually looking for a space there to do a degree. And I remember vividly, I was with my mom, and technology then was not as popular as it is. So we passed by, we went to an internet cafe in Braamfontein with my mom. And that's where I met my future husband. Little did I know that he would be my future husband. As we were leaving the cafe with my mom, he then squeezed a small note on my hand, and it was his contact number.
Mm.
I unfortunately didn't accept the offer at Witwatersrand. I then went to the University of Cape Town. When I got to the University of Cape Town, we kept in contact all those years. I was there for 4 years, and he used to come and visit me. And immediately after graduating, we then tied the knot, and it was beautiful.
Edward, you took quite a risk there, you know, trying to propose to her in front of her mom. That's really, really brave of you. Tell us a little bit about your history and how you ended up in the country.
Mom, when I was in my shop in Braamfontein, I was one of the first Nigerians that opened a shop in Braamfontein. So it was when the mom came in the shop, it was like, who has got this shop? When I was serving them, I let you know because she was very young and very small. But when I looked at her, I said, no, boys, this person is a Nigerian. It's an Igbo lady. When I looked very well, I couldn't differentiate her from my people at home. So, and I couldn't hold myself. I don't know what happened in front of the mom, but I was hiding. Then I squeezed my contact and gave her and asked her. I looked at her. When she wanted to look at me, I was so scared. Then she left, and I couldn't meet her anymore for almost a year or two. After maybe another 1 year or some months again, then we made a contact. I was so surprised that she's still having my number. So, but in any way, when I came to this country, I came as a footballer. I came to play soccer because I was playing in Nigeria as a footballer. I was playing at 23, and I was still young. I think I was very handsome then. So when I came, it was when she saw me, she saw a friend and she saw a partner. In fact, I would say that God made it work because we lost contact for more than 2 years. Little I know that we will still meet each other again when I went to Cape Town.
Mm. It's really great to hear of your love story, and also just the fact that you've been together for 2 decades now. You know, it's one thing to be in love. The reality is that you also exist in a community and in a broader society. Do you think there were particular challenges that you faced as a couple that were related to your origins?
I think there was a lot of challenges, not only in the society, but within our families as well. In my family, I'm Zulu, I'm Radebe. So my dad did not take this very kind that I've met this man who's of foreign national, who's a foreign national and who comes from Nigeria. So for him, it was a very big issue. I mean, at some point, he really discouraged me to get married to him because of all the misconceptions that are out there. You know, that Nigerians sell drugs, they will kidnap me, they will steal me. So I think at that point in time in South Africa, you know, we're not that exposed to other African countries and other countries outside the continent. You know, a few people had traveled there. And I was also scared, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm just a girl from Soweto who went to study at UCT. And by then, I had never been to any other country outside South Africa. So I was very scared myself. And obviously, the society had, you know, your neighbors were even scared to tell neighbors that I'm married to a Nigerian because they will then conclude on certain things.
Wisdom, what was that experience like for you?
My first question when I told my dad that I supposed to have I saw my missing rib, or I saw my partner in South Africa. My dad was like, "Wow." I'm coming from a very cultural background. My father is one of the heads of cultural group in my town or in my village. So, and they were expecting me to come back from South Africa to get married in our tradition and everything. But when my dad, because my dad has exposure, my parents were traveling. My youngest sister has been in America for a very long time. But so when I told them that I've found somebody that I think I supposed to marry. My dad was the first question he asked me was, is he educated? I said yes. Is she? Does the parents stay together? Are they staying together with the mother and the father? I said yes. That was the two questions that he asked me. Then he said to me, "If you love her, marry her." I was shocked. I was shaking. Said, "My father is saying such a thing." I was happy. Then the dad was very hard. Even when we went to pay Lovola, he didn't want to accept the Lovola. He was saying a lot of, we were fighting there. It was very difficult. But luckily for me, her family, other of her siblings and the father, and the father's brothers were in support. They tried to calm the father down, and the father accepted. Then I was happy. It was difficult, actually, but I knew that there was something that God has planned for us. That was why it was very difficult. I even tried to convince him, tried to show him how, because I was one of the first people that started buying and selling, opening a shop and trying to be straight and do things that are nice in the country. But he wasn't very happy about it, hearing about being a Nigerian and all those things. Sure. But after some time, we became friends, and he started releasing a little bit by bit. Unfortunately, he passed on within the time that we were about to be very together very well.
All right. It certainly is incredible to hear about your story, and again, proof that there truly is power in love, and the ways in which your family has been able to overcome just some of the cultural tensions that may have existed. You guys have been together for 20 years. A big congratulations for that, especially in our age. It's not something you get to see often. I tell you that much. Thank you so much for coming on to News at Prime. Mpumi Radebe-Edward and Wisdom Edward there.